It's the Diamond K Show.
So much going on in the world. You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K, sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like, ah.
OnFireTV.com. Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
The defense wanted to call a forensic accountant. And this accountant is supposed to testify that Mosby's net worth declined by at least 30% in the spring of 2020 as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, and the prosecution hates that. See, because here's my thing. Every business was affected by COVID, unless your business was to spread COVID. So the prosecution's like, oh, no, she's going to actually prove her case. We don't want this to happen. We don't want any testimony from this witness. So they didn't want the testimony. Of course, this at the core is her defense. Mosby had a travel-related business. The travel industry was impacted severely by COVID.
It's the Diamond K Show. Hear it on FireTV.com.
Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here. Of course, the DiamondKShow.com, OnFire-TV.com, RadioOnFire.com. A lot of things to get into. A lot of things that I need to talk about. So, on the docket here today, let me pull up my list. We're going to talk about this backlash that Kanye West is receiving, justifiably so. All right. We're going to talk about narcissistic personality because that is what we are witnessing. We're witnessing that. We're going to talk about Wes Moore and his 32-point lead over Dan Cox. Wes Moore is going to be the next governor of Maryland, by the way. And speaking of Governor Larry Hogan is set to testify at a former aide's trial. When's the last time you heard that? A governor testifying. Also, the Attorney General releases some body camera footage of police who fatally shot a man. We're going to talk about that. And speaking of shooting, the lawsuit for the lady that was killed on the set of the movie by Alec Baldwin, they have reached a settlement, and it appears that movie is going to actually be filmed after all. The movie set where the lady died and was killed. Remember that? So we're going to talk about that. And of course, Elon Musk backtracking after, trying to not buy Twitter. It looks like he's actually going to buy it for the original price of $44 billion. Wow. Big money. So we're going to talk about that and so much more. It is a lot. I have a full slate of things. So we'll be back right after this. Today's broadcast was brought to you in part by City View Bar and Grill. City View is a family-friendly, casual dining bar and restaurant, providing high-quality food and good old-fashioned friendly service. At City View Bar and Grill, you can live every hour like it's happy hour. The food is mouth-watering, the atmosphere is fun, energetic, and mature. Located at 6700 Security Boulevard in Gwynn Oak, Maryland, a.k.a. Woodlawn. It is the City View Bar and Grill. Stop in today or visit cityviewmd.com. That's cityviewmd.com. The 2022 Baltimore Crown Awards goes down Saturday, November the 19th at the Garage, 6 Lafayette Avenue in Baltimore. This year's celebration is an Emerald Party. There is a dress code. It's emerald green, and that is to celebrate the 16-year anniversary of the Baltimore scene movement. Please come dressed in the theme and the color for a visual unity that reflects the theme for the evening. It's hosted by comedian Desi Alexander. You can cast your votes right now. Visit thebaltimorescene.org. We'll see you Saturday, November the 19th, 2022 for the Baltimore Crown Awards. Right. Welcome back. You may Dominic in here. Of course, a narcissistic personality. You've heard of this before, right? It's a condition where a person has an inflated sense of their own importance, a very deep need for excessive attention, excessive admiration, troubled relationships, a lack of empathy for others. These are some of the many traits that happens. And this is what we are seeing from Kanye West. Yay, call him whatever you want to call him, right? So we talked about this, and he's getting this backlash, justifiably so. You have a black man wearing a shirt that says White Lives Matter, and he's got a black mother, had a black mother, black father, black kids, but the self-hate runs deep in this man. Now, not only him, Candace Owens as well. And I see folks online that also hate themselves because they cannot clearly understand the impact of some of these symbols. Some of these symbolism. Now, when you have someone with the big platform like Kanye West, you have to really pay attention to what is being put out there from this person, because this is someone that some people, because he has money, some people, and I see some folks online like defending him, right? They're only defending him because when a stupid person or an ignorant person says things, and if that person has money or status, you'll have people trying to co-sign and defend. Oh, they really sound smart. No, they don't. Oh, he really preaching. No, he's not. Right? But because this person has money or status, you got people that are on the bandwagon that are just co-signing the foolishness. Co-signing the foolishness. He's already he already had a lot of detractors. He already had a lot of naysayers, right? Kanye West. But after his latest stunt, and it was a stunt, I don't know why in his mind he thought that it would go another way. But this stunt of wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt at the opening of his Yeezy Season 9 foolishness. The mother of Ahmaud Arbery, Wanda Cooper James, she provided a very heartfelt critique of this recording artist and the implications of him wearing the shirt. Like I said, I see a lot of folks online defending the ignorance of Kanye West. It is dangerous. The level of ignorance. So she did make a statement, the mother of Ahmaud Arbery, whose child was killed. Right? So she said this: as a result of his display, the White Lives Matter started trending in the US, which would directly support and legitimize extremist behavior, much like the behavior that took the life of her son. That is the thing that Wanda and families like hers continue to fight against. This is the mother of a person who was killed, unarmed, black man killed. One of the type of casualties to this war, which is one of the reasons why we say Black Lives Matter, because based on what we have been seeing with unarmed black men being killed with little to no repercussions, it made people ask the question and then had to say the statement that Black Lives Matter. It was never a question of whether white lives matter. That wasn't a question. When something happened to the white person, they're figuring it out. They're finding it out, right? But when it happens to black people, it is justified and just people just move on with it, right? He deserved it, different things like that. And so after this has happened over and over and over again, a movement is birthed. Movement was birthed. So this mockery of the Black Lives Matter movement, and now the promotion of a movement that is meant to negate the importance of the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, so that is coming from the mother of someone who experienced a degree of trauma that many folks do not. So she said that it is confusing. It's confusing for the families to receive his support privately. He's given them money and different things, right? But publicly set us back. But I'm sure that the folks that continue to defend his behavior will have some smart reason why he's doing this, right? He's not smart. He's actually dumb. This is an arrogant and an ignorant move. Many folks supported his music, supported his fashion, and now many of them feel foolish. Many of them feel foolish after seeing this picture, after watching some of the things that he's been saying online, because now he's trying to deflect. He's trying to change the conversation. Oh, where were y'all at when I was trying to get my kids back in January? Really? Deflecting. He said that this is a political statement. Political statement. White lives matter, just like blue lives matter, is a model that is meant to negate the importance of the Black Lives Matter movement and the humanity of black people at large. Right? So this is the type of chant that the folks in Charlottesville would have been saying. Now, Kanye West would have been down there marching with the racists, on the side of the racists. And some of you people online would be saying, oh yeah, Kanye's so smart. He's a free thinker. Black people would be saying that. The Ku Klux Klan began using White Lives Matter as a response in 2015 to Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Some of Kanye's esteemed guests at this fashion show took offense to the hateful t-shirts and bounced early from the show. I would have left too. But what I saw online earlier was interesting. One of the Kardashian sisters, I think it was Khloe, jumped on and commented on some of the foolishness, because you know Kanye West in true in true form tried to paint himself as the victim. And as always, so you're going to see folks that are going to say that this was a cry for help. He always sees his kids. So let's not act like this is some father whose kids have been kidnapped. And he don't know where they are. Like out of here with all of that. Okay. And you married this Albanian woman and produced children with her. Whose fault is that? That's nobody else's fault. That's not society's fault. We don't owe him nothing. I mean, like, there's a lot of folks that have baby mama drama or problems with their exes, right? Well, we don't owe Kanye West some attention about his kids. We don't owe him none of that. And so when folks say, oh, this is a cry for help. No. Stop making excuses for this grown man. Because the red flags are there and have been there. Kim Kardashian is doing a lot more for the black community than Kanye West. I mean, she's trying to get, wrongfully convicted folks out of the prison system. She's starting a podcast where they're going to be talking about some of the cases of folks that they're trying to free from the system who were wrongfully convicted. Some folks are on death row. And Kanye West is parading around with the likes of Candace Owens and crying about some fashion shows and, not seeing his kids when we see him with his kids. You know what I mean? It's just foolishness. Foolishness. Making a mockery of a lot of things. I said yesterday, his mother's probably rolling over in her grave. These are not the actions of someone who has it all together. I predict that his story does not. I just predict his story is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. I don't know how it ends, but at this rate, it's on a collision course. It's on a collision course. He is always the victim. Always the victim. Always online. And I don't know why. Because he's an artist. I mean, some folks get confused. He made songs that I like, and but that doesn't excuse the behavior, right? R. Kelly made songs that you like, but R. Kelly also did some behavior that was less than honorable. Can I say it another way? Right? You don't defend everything R. Kelly did. But some people say, oh, it's the parents' fault. It's this fault, that's fault. And some people did, I guess, make excuses for R. Kelly's behavior. Bill Cosby, people say, oh, no, Bill wanted to buy something and they did this to him. But we have to address the things that Bill did too. But some people don't want to look at that. Some people want to make excuses anytime somebody does something wrong. And maybe they had a talent. You want to say, oh, yeah, but they try to tear them down. They try, and you don't want to face the facts. It happens when our kids do stuff sometimes, right? The teacher may say, they did this. Not my boy, not my girl. Yeah, I mean, and maybe that's human nature. But we don't owe Kanye West nothing. What's the reason for the excuse? Because he made College Dropout? That was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And so it was Khloe Kardashian telling him not to take some of this stuff online because, he wants to talk about everything online. When it's convenient for him, he wants to do that. He don't want to talk about everything online. He only want to talk about the things that he wants to talk about when he can paint himself as the victim. That's what he does. He's the victim. Victim. So how do you deal with a narcissist? How do you deal with them? How do you combat that? That sense of self-importance. That that preoccupation with unlimited success and power and brilliance and beauty. And how do you deal with these things? This sense of entitlement, the personality, the explosive behavior, the envy of others. He was very envious of Jay-Z, of Drake, of other artists, the artists that were on his label, which is why his label imploded. The envy of others, the demonstration of arrogance, and the haunting behaviors and the attitudes, the way he acted about other people that Kim Kardashian was dating while he was dating women, right? What does it boil down to? It's mental health. It is mental health. Now, just like anything else, narcissism has a spectrum. You know, it can be varying levels. At first, in the beginning, you may think it's charming. So many folks thought he was clever. Many folks thought that he had charisma. But then over time, they're hogging the conversation, talking about how great they are. You may know folks in your life that are like this. Not just Kanye West, but you may know somebody else in your life. You might be dating somebody like this. Somebody that's feeding off compliments. And I see them online. They're giving him compliments. He's feeding off these compliments. He, because of us, people, he believes he's a genius, which he is not. But he's feeding off the compliments, the praise, the adoration. But he lacks empathy. And people like this do not have any or many long-term friends. So you look at the people that were around back in the day, they're not around anymore. Because this narcissist personality won't allow people to be honest with them. So the people that's been around you for a long time, they can be honest with you. So they gaslight. Oh, that's what he does. Gaslight. The White Lives Matter shirt, he was gaslighting. What is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a form of manipulation and emotional abuse. Right. And so people like this think that they're right about everything and never apologize. Never apologize. Now, even though I'm talking about Kanye West, this applies to a lot of other people that we know about. This applies to Donald Trump as well. Think they're right about everything, never want to apologize. And when you show them you are really done, they lash out. Isn't that what he did with his ex? When she was done, he lashed out. So if you're dating somebody like this, or you're around somebody like this, you're involved with somebody like this, what do you do? What do you do? If you're in a relationship with somebody who's like this, chances are you've already experienced a whole lot. So you're in a relationship with somebody who is constantly criticizing, belittling, gaslighting, and not committing to you. It may feel like it is emotionally exhausting, right? You cannot change a person like that or make them happy by loving them enough or by changing yourself enough to meet their whims or meet their desires. You can't, there's nothing, you can't do it. They will never be in tune with you, never feel empathetic to you, never empathetic to your experiences. You will always feel empty after an interaction with a person like that. Essentially, you're never going to be enough for them because they are not enough for themselves. So the best thing that you can do, is to cut ties. Offer them no explanation, no second chance, break up with them, offer no second, third, fourth chance. Leave them. And that's what we have to do with somebody like Kanye West. You got to break up with him. You got to cut this dude off. Can't buy his stuff. Can't listen to his music. Can't support what he's doing. Right? Don't pay him no attention. So, unless something major happens, I don't plan to talk about him anymore. Now, I know that, folks are going to be talking about him online for a while and all of that. But this applies to him. This applies to anybody that's in your life that falls in this category. That's the only way to do it. You cannot reason with a narcissist. You can't. You cannot. It's just not possible. But many are going to try, I suppose. But definitely do not do it. I mean, it's just not going to be successful doing that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, of course. onfire-tv.com, radioonfire.com. We're going to do this. We'll take a quick break, and we're going to come back with more of the show after this.
It's The Diamond K Show.
So much going on in the world. You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K, sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like,
onfiretv.com.
Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here. So we got that conversation out of the way. Now, on to some other things. The general election is 5 weeks away. 5 weeks away. And Wes Moore, 32-point lead over Dan Cox, the Republican. So the Democrat is smashing the Republican in the polls. So under normal circumstances, you would say, the polls, you got to take them with a grain of salt and all of that. But Wes Moore is, seemingly really short up the support among Democrats, and about a fifth of the Republicans in a very lopsided contest. It is really hard to see how Dan Cox can win. So he's a political newcomer, Wes Moore, but he is holding a double-digit lead over the Trump-aligned Republican Dan Cox. We're just, as I said, 5 weeks away from Election Day. And Wes Moore, who is a veteran and a best-selling author, appears to have consolidated the support of the Democrats, who make up the majority of the electorate here in Maryland. He did what he needed to do. So a poll found that 86% of registered Democrats say that they're going to vote for him if the election was held today. Now, 22% of registered Republicans also say that they would vote for him in November, leaving the Cox path to victory very slim. Like, I don't see how this happens. But the election is still far enough away that, the numbers games can change. But given the fundamentals in this race, unless there is a shocking revelation, it is very, very far-fetched for Dan Cox to win. So I am predicting, barring some kind of crazy turn of events, Wes Moore is going to sail this to victory. And that's good. Between the two, he's definitely the better choice.
On Fire TV is a streaming network for a generation on the move.
Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here. And let's do this. Before we talk about Governor Larry Hogan and this testifying that he has to do, let's take a quick break.
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Hoodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American owned restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at hoodfellowsbistrocatering.com.
So Maryland's governor, Larry Hogan, is going to be called as a witness in the federal case against his former aide. He is on the witness list in this. This is a criminal case. So these federal court documents show that jurors in this fraud and embezzlement case against Roy McGrath have been asked whether Hogan's appearance as a witness for the prosecution would impact their ability to be fair and impartial. So you remember, we talked about this when it first broke. McGrath briefly served as Hogan's chief of staff. So they were very close. He faces charges including misconduct in office, theft, and wire fraud. News of Hogan's expected appearance as a witness was first reported by the Daily Record. So he resigned from the Maryland Environmental Service in 2020, got a severance package of more than $322,000, an amount equaling an entire year's salary. McGrath insisted that the arrangement was cleared by Hogan and is accused of falsifying a document to back up his claim. But of course, Fox 45 here in Baltimore, they don't even talk about this. He don't talk about this at all. Why? Because he is not a black politician. Why would they talk about it on Fox 45? He's not a black politician when their whole purpose, their whole mission statement is to tear down black people. Yeah, so this doesn't fit their storylines. Hogan has denied knowing about the arrangement, and he claims that he did not know. McGrath resigned his post as Hogan's chief of staff after 2 months on the job. When asked about Hogan's expected appearance as a witness, Hogan's communications director said in a statement to WTOP that our office has been actively assisting in these ongoing investigations for over 2 years. I guess they're trying to say we've been helping them out and we're going to continue to help the prosecution. And the governor's office is confident that the justice system will uphold the public trust. McGrath also faces charges of illegally recording phone conversations with the governor and other administration officials in Anne Arundel County Circuit Court. In Maryland, it is illegal to record conversations without the consent of all parties. Federal prosecutors are hoping to introduce one of these phone calls into evidence in their case against McGrath, but bar the rest, saying that they are not relevant to the case against Hogan's former aide. The call of the federal prosecutors want to allow, it involves an August 2020 conversation, this phone call that they want to allow, where McGrath made statements related to his severance payments, according to these court documents. The federal trial date is October the 24th. Next June, he also faces a trial related to the taping of the phone call. So for folks here in Maryland, do not tape phone calls without letting folks know, because that is illegal. If you didn't know that, that is illegal. Many folks may have not even known that. But I'm saying, look, let's say putting y'all on. Speaking of putting you on, Blackout 2022, the original, the one and the only Iceland organization, Sound Vision Ladies, U30, Team Infamous, and of course, Sound Vision Entertainment present the Blackout Party. Goes down Saturday, October the 22nd at the Diamonds Event Center course on Liberty Road in Randallstown. You must wear all black. Now, it is a blackout party, so I mean, that is kind of obvious, but you got to say that. Wear all black. Music by DJ Double L, DJ Jamal, DJ Titan, also DJ One Love, and DJ Cell, hosted by MC Franchise and MC Ice. Admission is $25. Get those tickets now. You get them at Metro 2 in the Plaza, M&K Music Warehouse and Security Mall, or there's a whole bunch of folks that you can call to get your tickets to the blackout. October the 22nd. This experience only happens once a year, and it is for the adult crowd. The blackout experience begins at 9 p.m. and ends at 2 a.m. Blackout 2022. Always fun. Blackout party is always fun. Always look forward to that every year. So as I said, shout out to MC Ice and the whole team for that. So Elon Musk. We've talked about this on again, off again thing, this saga of Elon Musk and his purchase of Twitter. 1 minute he's buying it, next minute he's not. But it seems that it has taken a turn toward a conclusion. Yesterday, the Tesla CEO proposed to bind the company at the original agreed price of $44 billion. This turnaround is a surprise. Not only, Twitter, but it has been his custom. I mean, in a letter to the company, he disclosed in a filing, it came less than 2 weeks before a trial between the two parties that was scheduled to start in Delaware. And I think that, they played this thing out, Elon Musk's team, and he was going to lose. And so if he lost going to trial, he would have to pay for a lot of more costs, court-related costs, and then have to turn around and buy the company because he'd already agreed. They'd already gotten far in the agreement. So he's doing this as a way to save money because he was going to lose that case. And this is just the smarter play. This is the smarter play by far. So he's going to buy Twitter, and I don't know what happens then? What does that mean? That means that he is going to change things around. He is going to make a whole lot of money on Twitter. Oh, best believe Trump's coming back to Twitter. And Trump coming back to Twitter is actually good for the Democrats because he's going to do and say some things that are going to help Democrats. Yeah, because that's just what he does. That's just what he does. So we can expect more of that. Once this sale goes through, and like I said, it's going to go through. It is just a matter of time. 44 billion. So anybody that had any stock in Twitter, this is a good time for them. I was talking to my father earlier, and I was just like, wow, we have put something in on Twitter stock early 2000s. We'd be super happy right now. Shout out to Brother Nance. We'd be super happy right now. I need to holler at you too, Brother Nance. We'd be very happy right now had we done that in the early 2000s. Man. Welcome back to John McKay Show, of course, here at OnFireTV.com, RadioOnFire.com. So, I mean, and I hate when we have to talk about these kind of things, but Maryland's Attorney General today released the police-worn body camera video from an incident where officers fatally shot a man last month. Anne Arundel County Police said officers were called to the 4100 block of Sands Road in Harwood a little bit after 2:15. Police said that a woman told them that her husband tried to strangle her. She broke free and fled to a neighbor's house. According to police, officers were met with gunfire as they approached the suspect's house in their vehicles. The suspect, identified as Anthony Hopkins Sr. of Harwood, approached police from the wooded area outside the home while holding a gun. The police report said that officers commanded him to drop the gun. He did not comply. The video shows the suspect raise his gun towards the officers as officers fired at him, striking him several times. Police said that officers and paramedics rendered aid, but he ultimately died per state law. Maryland's Attorney General's Office Independent Investigations Division is investigating, but this is what they commonly call a clean kill, meaning that they feel that it was justified. And based on the video footage, I assume that is the case. Based on what we've seen, But it's one of those things. Now, you hate to see it, regardless. You hate to see it, but it is. That's what it is.
She don't have no chill when it comes to me.
I don't have no chill on anyone. Let's be real.
You don't, but you get extra points by punching on me. That's just our relationship, but
He act like it's the Mario game, and when I say the coins is going up, no.
that's how I do coins. Listen, I don't care if we see each other at a funeral. She starts
Me
Immediately.
immediately, as soon as she see me. Why you wear this dirty uniform to a funeral?
And guess what? That sounds like her. She has no filter at all.
None.
He is lying. I might say don't touch me because he got on that.
You asked me why did I have that dirty uniform on at a funeral?
I don't remember that. Was that one of my uncles or what? Who cousin? Who was it?
Yeah, that was your uncle.
Well, then that's probably why. So anyway,
Check out Swap Radio Thursdays, 7 p.m. at onfire-tv.com. Welcome back. Your man Don McKay in here, of course. The DonMcKayShow.com, onfire-tv.com. So you remember the movie set, Alec Baldwin killed one of the crew members accidentally. So the family, the Hutchins family, has reached a settlement with Alec Baldwin. Her family, she was the cinematographer that was killed on the Rust movie set last year. So they have reached this undisclosed settlement amount in the wrongful death lawsuit filed against the actor and others. So it appears that the film's production companies, its producers, and other key members of the crew, there were numerous industry standard violations. So I guess they're going to get all that together, because it appears that this movie is going to actually finish filming. They've reached a settlement subject to court approval for the wrongful death case. And as part of the settlement, the case is supposed to be dismissed. The filming of Rust, which he will now executive produce, will resume with all of the original principal players on board in January 2023. January 2023. The film director, he's Joel. They often don't talk about him. He was injured in the shooting, but he is also expected to return to the film. Very interesting there. So is this a movie that we need to see? It's got to feel weird for those folks that participated, for the filming initially. I guess they got a lot of money tied up in it. It is a crazy thing. Definitely our hearts go out to the family, man. That was just such a crazy situation there. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. onfire-tv.com. Yes, no manslaughter. That he's getting off on this. He's getting off on this. Oh my goodness, I cannot get out of here without talking about this. The squeegee worker accused of killing a man could go to juvenile court. An update is coming in the next couple of weeks in the case of the 15-year-old squeegee worker accused of shooting and killing a man in downtown Baltimore. The Department of Juvenile Services has finished its report about the teen, and later this month, a judge will review the report and decide if the case should go to juvenile court or stay in adult court. The teen is accused of killing the 48-year-old Timothy Reynolds in July after police said that Reynolds chased after the teen and other squeegee kids with a bat. The case is set to go before the judge on October the 19th. Yes. Brother Nance says that how that case goes will determine a lot. That is true. This squeegee worker case, a lot is going to be riding on that. So we're going to know October the 19th if this child is going to be tried in adult court or he's going to be tried in juvenile court. Just as Brother Nance said, there's a lot riding on this, seeing how this goes. I don't know how this goes. But we're going to continue to follow that case. Of course, miss any episodes of the show, onfire-tv.com is where you go on social media. I'm not hard to find. At the Diamond K Show on all social media. Of course, weekends, Saturdays, 12 noon. The Baltimore Club Show, where I'm spinning Baltimore Club music. Doing the thing. You see the turntables behind me? Doing that. So Brother Nat says on Instagram, they better make it right. Make the right decision, or it will shape the city for the next 10 years. What is the right decision, Brother Nance? What is the right decision? It's a tough case. I don't even know what the right decision is. And it's a lot going on there.